Very well. Let this abomination unto the Lord begin.
Do you want to start off with the new favorite thing? Just give us a second.
Let's see how it picks up.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, please cut that out.
We got that plus the other thing, which is fucking terrible as far as I'm concerned.
We're gonna keep that there.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Why does a man have a laugh like that?
Why did we record it?
Because we were all shithoused, and you were like, you know what? I'm going over there. And you got far enough away for me to not give a shit at that point. Exactly.
It's stupid. It's the stupidest thing.
It's so normal for him, though, because when he's in there, that happens like 20 or 30 times a night.
No.
It brings the bar to a grinding halt as everyone, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What did he say to you? He said, oh, no, I've always had this laugh. That was like the gist of the conversation I heard. And I was like, how?
Honestly, I wasn't listening to anything else he was saying.
Right.
Just zoned in on that fucking laugh.
That's what's important.
I feel like it's the fakest laugh I've ever heard.
I appreciate a person with a crazy laugh because it makes you feel really funny. I have a couple of friends that just like scream laugh, and you can make like the littlest, dumbest dad joke, but you feel like a fucking rock star.
Yeah.
I mean, I have moments where I laugh like that, but I feel like it's insincere as well.
I don't know. You had a pretty goofy laugh.
Oh yeah, I got a goofy one. You should hear my brother, my older brother, older than me. They're all older than me, but he's like the second oldest.
Okay, yeah. Well, how many siblings you have? Like 4,000?
Yes, and counting.
And how many years are between you and the next oldest?
I
just want to know. I want to know how much of a chance it was that you were like in just a total mistake.
Oh no, I'm a fuck up. I am the biggest fuck up that there is. I'm pretty sure they only wanted 5, and then oops, here I am.
Only wanted 5.
A modest number of children.
Look,
that's manageable. I mean, you get one of those like dog walker belts, and you can just
you gotta factor this in.
But those things only have 5 clips. What do you do with the 6th?
My mom is 76 years old. My dad would be
holy fuck
80 years old now, if he were still alive. When they were growing up, both Irish Catholic, we'll put it that way. So the whole contraception thing was probably like a big go fuck yourself to that whole area of whatever. So yeah, I just put it to and I hate to say this, and I hope my mom never hears this, they like to fuck. That's basically it.
Good for them.
Yeah. And most people are like, oh, I don't want to hear about my parents. I'm like, oh, I'm glad they had a great sex life all the time.
Of course, because without that, you wouldn't fucking exist.
Oh, exactly. I'm an anomaly, and I love it.
So, I mean, how's your mom doing these days?
I told you guys, I'm kind of out of it, and I'm also pretty drunk, so...
but does she, like, have... Like
no.
late night suitors.
The last guy, the last gentleman caller was 10 years younger than her.
Oh. Okay.
He was a Vietnam vet. He smoked a lot of weed. I smoked a lot of weed with him. Really into music, which I always thought was funny. But it was always like protest music. Mm-hmm. One of his favorite albums, which I hated, was the Green Day American Idiot album.
Oh, that was the worst.
Yeah, I fucking hate it. And he loved it. And now, you gotta understand, this guy who was in Vietnam and, like, had seen some shit. He was like what the fuck was he? Green Beret. So, he wrote a couple books. He's actually published. You can find it. I'm not gonna say his name on the show because I don't feel like that coming back to me. Yeah. But like after the show, I'll tell you. You can find his books. Actually, really cool dude. At the time when I was 16, I fucking hated him. Nobody comes into my house and tells me what to do.
Yeah.
But he was an interesting guy. You could definitely tell he had a massive amount of PTSD. And
From having sex with your mom?
yes, I feel like that is what it would do. Look, I live with her, and I feel like maybe I have a minuscule amount of parental blah, 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 blah. I was going to say a joke, but I got nothing. Anyhow, thank you, James!
Saved it.
Comedy death saved.
Woo! Alright, let's actually get into the episode now.
Well, first, welcome to the PlanEx Express Delivery Podcast. We're back again.
We never left.
We haven't been canceled yet.
Well, sued.
We haven't been sued yet. I'm still waiting for that cease and desist from Alex Jones.
No.
Never gonna happen, you think?
Well, I gotta try to go
Yeah,
between
wait,
things.
see, you have to have it up and ready. We're back. We have a returning guest.
Hey.
Hello. Welcome back, Justin.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's good to be here.
This flaming fascist. There we go.
Oh boy.
Thanks for playing that right after my introduction.
Yeah. Pretty on point.
This episode is Suds, one of your favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Would you say the title? Because I can't remember what it is.
Okay, it's the late Philip J. Fry. Dave has been drunk since 3:30.
That's a long title.
Yeah, the late Philip J. Fry, the best episode in the entire series.
And we are gonna get
5.0
into it.
Slurmies.
Oh, you just want to end it on that?
Yep,
That is what
I'm
it
done.
Alright, podcast over.
is. We're good. That took.
Now I do have issues with it, but we'll get into it.
Alright. Well, I guess we'll do the our synopsis real quick. When Fry is a big old dummy who is chronically late and earns one final date with Leela in an attempt to make it up, but due to his tardiness, the professor forces him to stay late to work on his forwards-only time machine, which lurches irrevocably into the future. Anything to add? Or are you looking at your phone?
No, I'm reading about time travel. Sorry.
Is that's what you're doing?
Yeah.
Good shit. Going.
The-
I'm walking away from the table, so I can't keep the flow going as I usually do. So James, it's on
Yeah,
you.
I wasn't paying
Suds.
attention.
I guess we'll just wait. I mean,
Now?
no. The first note that I have just says ham bone sex.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. Okay. It's the way that the episode starts is that. Well, first of all, why is the only light that is on in any of the apartments in Robot Arm's apartment is there's one window light on, and it happens to be Fry and Bender's apartment.
Yeah.
Nobody else is awake.
Well, no, it's like middle of the night.
Okay. I don't know. I just thought that was weird. Why?
Rambo.
Yeah.
Robots might not need light. They might have infrared vision
Yeah, he's the only
or other
human living
sensing
there that we know.
mechanisms.
Okay. I was gonna ask that. So you think Fry's the only human there?
Well, but he's also. It doesn't make sense that the light would be on. He should be sleeping.
He was asleep.
That's
Well, he's
true.
a lazy motherfucker. He probably didn't want to get out of bed and flip off the light.
I've been there.
Oh,
Are
me
you
too.
talking about the robot arms?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, first, it's called the robot arms.
Yes.
He's the only human living there.
I don't know that we know that for sure.
Oh, just assume at this point.
Okay. Well, yeah. So anyhow, Bender is of course just like banging some robot, and he really wants somebody else to know, so he's just fucking with Fry, trying to wake him up.
What is it? How many times do they go past his door and he's like, shh, my roommate's sleeping. Wake up already!
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do not. I don't know where I was going to go with that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Fry eventually gets to sleep. Okay. Also,
Well, there's a whole, like...
But okay, what is like the green goop that's on the floor of Fry's bedroom?
Slurm.
Oh, it could be. Okay.
No, I feel like that is exactly what it is. Unless he has some kind of
His his bedroom looks. It's like similar to like how James's apartment looks. I feel like.
What,
Yeah.
pickles everywhere?
Yeah, pickles everywhere.
Yeah.
Goop
This goop.
laying around.
I like that you can see he has the little miniature basketball hoop set up over his bed.
Yeah, with like just
With
dirty
laundry
socks.
in it,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
which means he tosses his laundry with the intention that it lands on his pillow.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, yeah. There's no hamper underneath the.
It's right
the
above
hoop.
his head.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Well, going further back, do you remember the episode with the bureaucrat that was obsessed with Fry? Like, his room was far worse than that.
Really?
No, it was.
That episode.
Yeah, well,
He had, like, curdled milk in a... No, that was in his locker. He was... What was it? She comes in and she goes, "Is this where you eat?" And it's, like, cereal and... He goes, "Yeah, and where I sleep." And just, like, pulls the sheet off. Like, immediately she's aroused by this.
who wouldn't be?
Are you alluding to something? Is that what your apartment looks like?
Hey, I'm just saying, sometimes you want a post-sex sandwich, and you better keep it all in the
It's
same
right there.
place.
I mean, mustard will stay good for a long time, right? It's mostly just like, what?
Mustard keeps, cheese keeps.
No.
Okay, I don't know
way.
about that.
What?
Egg salad, totally fine.
Yeah, it's good. Has mayonnaise in it?
Yeah, anything
it'll
with
be
mayo,
fine.
that's good to
Mayo
go.
is fine.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
It's not congealed.
There are ancient jars found in Egyptian tombs just filled with cat mummies preserved in mayonnaise.
Top shelf.
Yeah.
Little known fact.
Well, doesn't it eventually become Miracle Whip if you leave it out long enough?
Is that why Miracle Whip is so inferior to
I'm pretty sure that's
mayo?
what that tang is.
Oh, okay.
How do you guys even eat that shit?
What do you
Oh, I
mean?
don't-
What
I
shit?
mean, I don't eat
What?
Miracle Whip.
Oh, mayonnaise is the bomb.
It's good. You ever make your
Did
own
I
mayonnaise?
just? Did I actually just say it?
Homemade mayonnaise, especially.
Yeah, man, you did.
All right. I don't know why I said it that way, but I do love mayonnaise.
No, I said
Miracle
that-
Whip, on the other hand, can go fuck itself.
I said
Hey,
let's see how quick that is gonna not
the peanut gallery needs to not laugh.
not be good
Quite
anymore.
Yeah, Elise, why are you laughing so loud over there?
Sorry.
So distracting.
At some point when he does that, will you just try to like replicate it?
I think I could.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you when it's happening.
Okay.
It is a surprise. It's supposed to be a surprise.
Oh,
Every time.
I hope it is.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna eat a little Alex Jones in there as well, so beware. Can you switch back and forth fast enough?
You authoritarian!
Yep, exactly. Yeah. We need the one, the long one.
Oh my god, I don't want to
never ends.
I edited that all out of the last episode as we're frantically trying. I can't make it stop.
So, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about that dumb shit.
So, have you guys ever seen this show called Futurama?
Yeah.
Can I bring up something about Futurama?
Yes. Let's.
If you must, I guess.
I suppose someone should.
Didn't you hear about the new production notes? How we go off the tilt?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's been a month and a half or so since I've been here.
I think the last show you were on was a hour show or 2 hour show.
It was long. It was the movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was terrible.
Oh yeah.
Terrible for
amazing.
everyone. I mean, the show was good, but the actual watching in this,
It was long.
yeah, it was way too.
Well,
Doesn't work on me!
wait. You've heard of Futurama?
Yeah, why don't we talk about Futurama?
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I know this is like a general talk about mom sex life podcast,
That was
but
just the beginning.
maybe we
That
do
was
a little
just
something different.
It was
I
just
would talk about Futurama. I don't know about you guys.
That was just the start.
Does your mom enjoy ham bone sex?
Ham bone.
Ham bone?
Well, as long as it's done to ham bone, which is obviously that is not a song. Anyway,
Is
But
it a riff off of
I
something?
feel like
or?
it might be pulled from something.
Ham boning is like when the old southern grizzled like jug band people like play on their knees. Like playing the drum.
Is that real?
Playing the drums on your
or
knees
did you just
like
make
that?
that up?
No, like whacking your thighs is ham boning.
Oh, okay.
And so I think it was a riff on the like jug band washboard.
Well, Bender is a big
Kinda
folk music aficionado.
Oh, let's not talk about the Bender music episodes. They're terrible.
Well, at this point, we've gotten to Bender has kept Fry up all night. We clip to him.
Well,
Construction yard sound sex.
Oh, yeah, it's just like a drill, like a...
It's like a jackhammer, like a semi backing up. And...
We all get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that is if you lived with a roommate who was constantly having sex, you might have to endure that.
Jackhammer sex.
Yeah, jackhammer sex, exactly. Well, like.
What time does Fry have to be at work? Because when he looks at his clock, isn't it like 11:55?
Yeah,
It is.
So how late is he?
Look, his first reaction is, I'm late again.
Well, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it doesn't even matter when he's supposed to be because he's pretty consistently late.
but Bender is late as well. He's still
Bender's there at
Bender-
11:55.
Well, yeah, Bender gets there before Fry.
He gets there
somehow.
slightly before, yeah.
Well, we don't hear the jackhammer sex in the background anymore, so I'm assuming he left.
at the Planet Express building.
No, at the Robot Arms apartment.
Oh, well. So what, he went back to the Robot Arms on his lunch break to wake up Fry?
Yeah, probably.
Hmm.
If you're a good roommate, that's what you do. And you have hooker bought
That's why I
5,000
live
in your
alone.
pocket. Well, no. I feel like you live alone because you have a lot of pickles.
What's this pickle thing? I'm out of the loop.
Sorry.
I don't know, honestly. Suds came over to my apartment once,
Now,
and when I talked to him the next day, he seemed to think I just had a surplus of pickles.
Are we talking jars or are we talking loose pickles in corners?
I don't know.
What I remember seeing was an immense amount of jarred pickles just strewn about the apartment.
Like not in the fridge.
No.
To this day, I don't know what he was looking at. There have never been pickle jars around. He's been over to my apartment several times since and can see that that's not. It's to the point I've stood in my kitchen alone just looking at shit. Like, what did he think of pickles?
I think what happened was that he used to live a life full of pickles. And then once I saw it and I started making comments to our friends, I think he got a little self-conscious. So he cleaned it up a little bit.
What's an effective intervention?
That's true.
they got way blown out of proportion. So I feel like you opened his fridge to look for something, and you saw
I
a
never-
jar of pickles.
Or he had like
No.
2 jars
No.
of pickles.
Yeah,
He had
yeah.
like one more jar than people would have.
You're like, that's way too much.
I never opened his fridge. I just waltzed in there and I saw pickles on bookshelves and like on the bed. I don't know why they were there, but I saw them.
Anyways, that is the gist of the inside joke, and it will keep going as long as James doesn't necessarily deny it in any way.
What do you mean?
He has overtly denied it 30 seconds
Okay,
ago.
so as long as James is part of the group, it will always be a joke. Pickles!
The most unbelievable part of that explanation is that I care what Suds thinks.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
James, watch your tone because I will tear you in two.
Bring it on.
All right, so we're back at the
We're
PlanEx
30
Express.
seconds into the episode.
Yeah, no. This is where this, it's getting off the hand.
Off the hand.
Yep, I'm drunk. You're just gonna have to deal with it.
Okay, so they're ham boning,
Yeah, ham boning.
and
Ham boning?
what happens to the hooker bot? Does she just leave?
Oh.
Fry's been in the apartment all day.
I was about to make a comment about the hooker bot. It was
Well,
terrible.
She probably collected her money from Bender, and she bolted. Well, Bender.
Oh, that's a robot pun.
And I definitely meant
Yeah,
to do that.
Yeah.
No, but Bender had to go to work, so she probably just left. She's done. She's gone.
So we're at the office. We're at the HQ.
And now we are.
This is a lot of fun, guys. I just have to say.
Well, look, I'm just
I'm
trying
having a
to
blast.
keep us on track. You know? That is not gonna get annoying.
No, never.
No,
I don't see how it possibly could.
Just keep it. Is it picking it up even?
Yeah.
Oh, marvelous.
You can add that in post. Boost it.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I don't have anything until I wrote down drinking teeth.
Oh, no. Okay, well, so Fry does eventually make it to work. He's late. And they give him a hard time about being late. I think he's surprised that Bender's there, but also he makes a comment of, well, if he's late, then where's Leela? Because she's not sitting around the round table there at the Planet Express delivery building. And who is it, Amy or somebody?
It's Amy. She goes, oh, she's supposed to meet some
idiot
for lunch. And this is
he
where...
looks at his watch and he just goes, oh, crap, I'm late.
Why does Fry even wear a watch if that's the case? Just be late. Just all the time.
Make it your thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the late guy. Just embrace it.
Oh, you're the passive-aggressive person who thinks that your time is worth more than everybody else's? Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Make it your thing.
Suds, how long have we been hanging out for?
Oh, what, like 3
I thought
years?
you were aware that's just what I do. All the time. Every day.
I've actually never noticed you to be necessarily late.
I show up on my own time.
Okay.
That's a really nuanced way of stating that. I'm on Dave time. No, you're an asshole.
Yeah,
Well,
that too.
Wait, last week you
aware.
showed up like an hour early. What was up with that?
Well, I wanted to get down here and have a couple beers, so it was Dave time.
I was naked in my bedroom when he
Which
knocked on the front door. The fucking blinds
Didn't
were wide
see it.
open.
At all, but was sitting on the front porch, and he pops open the door. He's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "How'd you know I was here?" He's like, "Well, I saw you walk past. I was naked in my room." The naked part I didn't really need to know about, but
Well, I feel you forced it.
That's like a great pickup line, though. I saw you walk past. I was naked in my room.
I'm gonna have to remember that. Just walk out on the street.
So, like, the mail carrier?
No, missionaries. That is who
Jehovah's
you do.
Witnesses, yeah.
Yes. Saw you walk past. I was naked in my room. So was Jesus. Come on in.
Yeah, it just makes them think you need God more. That's the problem.
It's all right. I'll sit down and talk to them about Satan.
I was naked in my bedroom with the Lord.
Lord, I mean a Bible.
Very sexy Bible.
Wait, what is a
what?
What is a sexy Bible? Just a Bible with a bunch of lube all over it, or? Seems gross.
The anal Bible.
All right. No. Let's get back on track. We're getting way off track.
How many Bibles can you fit?
Can
in
I
you?
just quick say that the Sexy Bible contains the Nude Testament?
Oh, jeez.
God. Okay.
Way off track.
So, back to Futurama.
Well, Fry kind of stands Leela. I guess inadvertently stands her up. But he's got one more shot to...
Fry
take
is
her
just late all the time. That's what we're picking up from this. But they do make an appointment later on to meet at, what is it, Cavern on the Green?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where the initial story starts. Like, we have that open. Obviously, we went through that real quick. And
Real quick.
yeah. There are some... I want to point out real quick. Like the beginning of the show, real quick. The Elzar moment in the background is one of my favorite. I love dumb jokes like bam!
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
shit like that kills me every time.
That's definitely something from like the rewrite room where you're just like, we need something to end this scene on.
Exactly. Just put a period in it real quick. But so we start, and now we're at the initial story. Is we find out that Hedonism Bot is having a bachelor party is what I want to call it. Do we
Yeah.
even know
Oh
what
fuck! I don't
He's
remember.
marrying a house.
Oh,
Yes.
that's right. Yep.
Yes. And first he's going to have the most hedonistic party ever,
Mhm.
which he's already hedonistic enough. I don't know why they need to have even more. Rub me with the oils, John D.
I think that was our New Year's party. Was the most hedonistic one that we've had.
I saw many people fall on the ice and lots of people dance. That's all I remember, and I blacked out.
It's
pretty
kind
much.
of my point.
Okay. Good. Then we're all on the same page.
Wait, what New Year's party?
The one we had at Naitlin's old place.
Oh, where you puked in the bushes
Yeah,
and I wiped the puke off your coat into the bushes?
that is a colorful way of saying that. You took my coat and hit it against a shrub. Until
I was
there-
trying to clean it off for you so that you could re-enter the party and not look like you had puke
And
all over your jacket.
It didn't work. You did it until there was slightly less vomit.
You should just let
I
the
tr-
vomit
I
go.
tried. I tried. No, I was trying to help my friend.
I was trying to help my friend.
Oh, that was when somebody threw a wine bottle off the roof into the front street, and then somebody got a flat tire on Front Street.
Yeah, we're bad people. Sorry. Just gonna have to deal with that.
Wait, did we do that?
No, it was that crazy person that was like friends with Nate and Caitlin.
Crazy hot.
She was attractive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just saying. Anyways, back on to what we were talking about.
No, this is important.
No fucking way.
Justin,
Yes.
is there anything that you would like to talk about?
I mean, I think the thoughts I have are later in the episode.
Oh,
How much later?
I was just hoping
When
that
we
you
get
would
into
bring us
time
back to
travel,
Futurama.
stuff.
Time
I'm sure it's
travel?
gonna be.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the time travel.
Yeah, I got
There's
some
gonna be
thoughts on
some
that.
stuff. but
Oh,
maybe we should get there.
I got some problems with you people about time travel.
Alright, well let me fast forward here.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
get them
Can I-
into the
Can
future
I
here.
get us to where we need to be and then we can be
Well,
ridiculous?
Fry's supposed to go to Cavern on the Green because he fucked up and missed Leela's birthday lunch date.
Yes.
So they're doing the ham bone.
Oh my god, no, you're going back in time.
Stop.
There's no backwards time machine.
There's no backwards time travel.
So Fry...
This is the second time that they brought it around.
Okay, but one of the best lines in the episode is when Fry and Leela are planning their date for Cavern on the Green. And it's right after he learns that Hedonism Bot is going to have this soiree, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like the professor and him and Bender want to go or whatever, but he's just like, whoa, or whoa, who cares, or
Woo,
whatever.
who
Yeah.
cares?
Yeah. And then he tries to have like a sincere moment with Leela, where he's, what does he say? He's like,
I can throw up on a stripper anytime.
Oh, yeah.
I want to not throw up on you.
Yeah,
I maintain that's a really sweet line.
It's great. I love
What
that.
is wrong?
Shut up, Dave.
Valentine's Day is coming up. We should all remember.
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
put it on the Valentine's Day
Yeah.
card.
Dave's not very romantic, I can tell.
No,
just
I'm
because
not.
he doesn't appreciate that very sweet line from Fry.
Very
Oh, no?
sweet fry line.
Tell your mom that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can throw up on a stripper anytime.
What? David?
Exactly. I'd be like, No, she knows I like strippers. And prostitutes. Woo!
Ah, David, all did the prostitutes. Yeah, we're bringing around all the little...
Mother, what did I tell you about coming to the show? No, you can't do that. We're all drunk here. You're going to learn all our dirty secrets.
I've been drunk since the day you were born.
No, you haven't. You haven't drank in 10 years.
So what I'm picking
How
up
old are
on,
you?
you're Italian?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's me tell you. That
We're not
Italian
great with
heritage.
accents. Or, our regular voices.
Alright, so fast
Wait,
forward.
I thought we were trying to plow through there for a second. How did we get off again?
Because of this guy over here.
All right, so Fry's very sweet with Leela, tells her that he doesn't want to puke on her, and then, so essentially Fry, because he was late for work, gets suckered into helping the professor test his time machine, which, as we learn, is a forward-only time machine.
Which, okay, first issue that I have. Is anyone going to argue this? They've gone back
They
in
went to
time.
Roswell.
Yes,
Yeah, they've gone back in time.
back in time.
Yes, I know.
All right. So who else wants to? You want to comment? Come on. You got nothing
No,
to say about this?
I don't have a way to justify it.
Sci-fi show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I mean, okay, I guess the way that I will try to justify it is that when they did go back in time, it was a fluke. They weren't trying to go back in time. It was because of
It was a random
It was
event
because
that
they
happened,
put the
yeah,
popcorn in the microwave and
So
then
maybe-
it, like, combined.
Maybe it's not
or something.
replicatable.
Yeah. Time travel is only capable in going forward because man can only go forward anyways.
Well, which is consistent with current scientific knowledge in that the faster you travel towards the speed of light, time slows down from your point of view. So technically there are astronauts that have been on the International Space Station for long periods of time traveling fast around the Earth that are technically have traveled fractions of a second forward in time.
Okay, now
Yeah.
no, go ahead.
Yeah,
Continue.
Einstein's theory, it's part of it, of relativity, is that as you approach the speed of light, time slows down from your point of view.
And this is where my question comes for you.
Mhm.
Have you heard of time dilation
Mhm.
or time
That's what I'm talking
dilation
about.
drugs?
Yeah, that's-
Like they wanna make a drug that will let you experience like a whole lifetime without actually having to do that. Like it's
I don't know
Isn't
about
that just weed? Or...
yeah.
Isn't that like that in Rick and Morty when they play that game? I forget. It's something like innocuous. It's like Stan or something, but you live an entire lifetime.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. It's like a
Yeah.
headset, and you
Mm.
Well, this is like you could take this drug and possibly the reason they want to make it, or from what I've heard, is like you could give it to.
Because it's a drug. Drugs are fun.
Well, no, they want to give it to prisoners in jail to make them experience a whole lifetime in imprisonment.
Whoa.
That seems needlessly cruel.
Well,
But
this
I
is
mean-
just one aspect of it. Like, there's probably other things you could do with it, but obviously the first thing that comes to mind is going to be the worst thing ever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
I'm just talking about physical time dilation.
Now,
that, like,
yeah, physical.
with current theories, physicists are saying if you can approach the speed of light close enough, you can forward time travel is essentially possible based on the science we know now.
No, this
Backwards
is-
time travel is not. We don't have the propulsion or anything to
no, we
approach
don't
those
even
speeds.
have a theory for.
But theoretically, time travel into the future is possible. So I like that the show is consistent with that,
Mhm.
and that there are weird theories about wormholes and stuff like that, but backwards time travel, essentially by the physics we know, is not possible.
Now, does this also align with? I see. I haven't watched the actual movie. In what is it? The Christopher Nolan movie where they travel through the wormhole and it ends up
Inception?
being
No, Interstellar.
Oh,
yeah, Interstellar. It ends up being a cyclical, like the time. And now I'm jumping ahead a lot here because this whole
They don't travel into a wormhole. They travel into a black hole.
they travel through some thing in space that
Yeah.
like loops them around.
Yeah.
Now that's the movie was spoiled for me. I still want to watch it just for the hell of it, but for this episode, which I'm going to jump ahead a lot here, we find out that time is a circle, basically.
No, we don't find that out.
It's a reoccurring. See, this is where you're like, I can't understand this concept. It doesn't. They're different people. This is what he's going to say.
No,
They're different people. They died already.
Well, because they did.
They're the same fucking people.
No, they're not.
Yes.
And well, it depends if you ascribe to a deterministic time travel viewpoint or a cyclical time
And
travel
it is
viewpoint.
a cyclical.
No, it's not. It's not because when they watch the universe end and then there's a second Big Bang. Well, second Big Bang to the professor's knowledge, it's probably the billionth Big Bang. I mean, this has all happened over and over and over and over before. This is not the first time that this has happened.
Mhm.
But when that Big Bang happens, like it's not the same sun from our universe. It's a new sun. It just happens to be identical. It's not the same Leela. It just happens to be an identical Leela. It's all starting from scratch over again. The Leela and all the people from Planet Express are having the same experiences.
How is that theoretically
However,
possible?
It's linear. It's like, here's one universe, it begins, it ends. Then a second universe ends, it begins, it ends.
Before we continue our argument, I want to hear what our guest has to say.
Well, does the butterfly effect come into it? Because they, in the last loop through, they shot Eleanor Roosevelt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's experience is not the same.
Well, that is called temporal inertia.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
No,
by
I
the way.
love this. Do it.
So this is the first time we've had notes in a with any research in a long time. Continue, James.
The example that I have here in my notes is viewing the universe, the aging of the universe, as watching a TV show with a certain amount of static. The static will change. It's very small pixels. Different iterations will change from time, but the overall picture still comes through. And that's temporal inertia, is that the universe is still going in the same direction, in the same way towards this, but there are these non-deterministic factors that alter the space-time continuum. So shooting Eleanor Roosevelt has immediate effects, as would shooting Hitler. But overall, how does 1,000 years later either of those affect where the Planet Express building is located or anything on that grandiose of a scale?
It's a fair point. I think there's no way of knowing whether effects will be magnified or minimized.
Okay, but I just want to get back to the fact that
You just want to argue this.
Leela grows old and dies without Fry.
And this is where
in that universe.
This is where multiverse comes into.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, because
Leela dies in at least 2 consecutive universes that we saw. She dies without Fry. But in the third one, they go back, they're 10 feet higher, they crush their former selves.
And they destroy them.
And actually, I really think that lends itself to me being right, because they kill the other professor and Bender and Fry. They kill them. They're fucking dead, right?
That closed the paradox.
They're not the same Fry from the first universe. And it's not the same Leela from the first universe.
I'm going to get real deep here. They kill Eleanor Roosevelt.
Sure.
Okay. About 1,050 years before the Planet Express, thing. They land again. The way gravitation works, the rotation of the Earth is affected by mass and displacement of mass.
I think I know where you're going.
The fact that she is below ground for the duration of what would have been her life when she was previously above ground would probably change the duration of the Earth, the rotation of the Earth as such that they would at least land in a different room.
Okay, but you're right. And to take that even a step further, like when the Planet Express, or when they're using their forward time machine and they wind up in 1.5 million and they're still on Earth. Meanwhile, the entire galaxy is moving. Earth is rotating. Like I don't know how. I mean that's a problem in essentially all time travel media. Well, I'm sure there's some out there who have accounted for that, but
the machine
it's not common.
Well, inertia, I guess. You still have the inertia of if the machine is at rest, you still have the inertia of the planet and the inertia of the galaxy. So you would, in theory, if you're still existing in space, follow that inertia. So you should land in the same spot.
On the surface of Earth?
On the surface of Earth, yeah.
No, I don't think that's how it works.
Why not?
Yeah, I want to know why not, too.
Because
when you're on an airplane and you throw a ball in the air, it doesn't land behind you.
No.
There's when you jump, the Earth doesn't rotate underneath you.
Okay,
if
but
the time machine were still tethered to gravity,
time
And the question is whether it is or
Is
not.
it? Right. But
It
no, I mean,
should follow the
if
inertia
you're,
of the galaxy and the planet.
If you're in a time travel machine and you jump from today to 20 years from now, is that time travel machine going to go to the exact same space, the exact same point in space that it inhabits when it first jumps? Because if it does, then it's not going to be on the same surface.
Well,
of
the
Earth.
way they put it, it does.
'Cause everything's
Because later
fucking
on,
moving.
we see, like later on in the episode, when they jump forward to year 10 billion,
Mhm.
Fry is walking down the street and comes across Cavern on the Green.
Mhm.
So
Well,
basically,
of course,
they
yeah.
are where the Planet Express home base is.
Yeah, but I think that's a flaw.
I think it's just it's entirely possible we're just like missing a line in this episode that the professor didn't like blatantly say, "Oh, I installed the gravitational tether to the forwards only time machine."
No,
That's
I feel like,
that's a very good fucking point. That is, yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like Suds
yeah.
knows more about time travel than we actually know. You know, it being so are you an astrophysicist and we're not aware of it?
I think
or...
Why don't you go fuck yourself?
I think it makes
Smarter.
sense that they would land in the same
You know.
Yeah.
place. Let's talk. I mean, okay.
Even though the entire galaxy is constantly
So
rotating.
E equals MC square. We've already sort of talked about time dilation and how if you approach the speed of light, time slows down for you. So for them to be time traveling, they're essentially, I guess, adjusting the energy in that equation. Because they're not moving, they're not in motion physically.
Yeah.
The speed of light is a constant, so there's some sort of massive energy that is shifting that equation.
The Earth's core.
As such,
Pulling it back.
I don't think they have for them to be untethered from gravity, from the warping of space-time, from inertia, they would have to be literally out of this universe. And I don't think they are.
Or in space, just random space.
But they haven't moved.
They could be in subspace.
They could be in a different dimension.
Yeah.
But this is what we were gonna. I was.
They
gonna bring up.
could be in higher dimensional space, but higher dimensional space is all contained within everything that's around us, and it's still bound by the laws of gravity.
Okay. I've got nothing on that. I won't even. No. You've lost me at this point. But
So they're ham boning.
you've rewinded again.
Oh.
Why are you doing that?
Did we?
Oh,
Can I read something?
I suppose.
I don't know. Can you?
What are the references? Let me hear some.
This is specifically about this episode of
Oh, okay.
Futurama.
All right. Is this a fan theory?
No, it's from the Infosphere.
Oh, the info.
From Infowars?
The info.
This is from Infowars.com.
Goddamn Futurama with their time travel and whatnot.
Infowars.com. Bill Clinton is a rapist. That's something that they say a lot.
Terrible things about.
All right, so look, I'm gonna be honest. This is long.
How?
Hang on. Let me just start reading.
Give the Cliff
No,
Notes version.
I really can't. Okay. The crew travel forwards and only forwards. This originally caused the emergence of multiple explanations among fans of the show for how the Planet Express crew got back to their original time. Two theories postulate either a cyclical timeline or a cyclical deterministic universe in which the vacuum resulting from the decay of the last subatomic particles gives rise to a new quantum vacuum fluctuation that spawns an identical universe to the previous one via a second Big Bang.
So that is the cyclical
Within the
determination?
cyclic
Is that what that
within the
is?
cyclic universal model, the second Big Bang is simply one of an infinite series, and the crew that travel through time are not the first to do so. They are part of an infinite chain stretching throughout infinity. They do not ever return to their own time, merely to an identical copy, two universes further down the chain of linked Big Bang events and subsequent universal decay.
No.
The major evidence to support this theory is a line from the professor. When the Big Bang is is observed by the time ship crew. He states that it, quote, appears to be a second Big Bang, and that the crew are in a, quote, new universe that is identical to the old one. This model doesn't match up well with the time traveling exploits of the crew in previous episodes, such as... I get it. Yeah,
okay,
that's right. But in that model, when a universe ends, an equal version is created in its place. It is not an alternative universe, but rather a recreation of the very same universe in which all living things are recreated and everything that happened in the previous universe happens again.
I love when Suds
Unless
gets
time
nerdy.
travelers change it, of course.
Yeah,
it
which
says.
they did. They killed Hitler in one.
Or,
and then
in short, any parallel alternate universe must always contain a version of its own universe. That's kind of fucked up, but... Yeah, so, I don't know. It's not the same universe. They all fucking die.
Okay, so what is your main argument here, though? You're, like, irritated about it not being the same universe, but...
Leela grows old and dies, and she gets hit in the face with a card, and then she
my
realizes,
God.
and she's dead. That Leela, she dies. She's gone. She's done. Then there's another universe. Same thing happens. Then there's a third universe.
You're crying about
that's
Leela being dead.
The third universe is the one where Fry...
That is what it...
The
It
third...
always comes down to Leela.
The third...
It always...
The third universe is the one where
This
Fry
is what
finally
happened
meets
the
her
other
on
time.
time for the date at the Cavern on the Green. But that's not the same fucking Leela.
It's never the
from-
first Leela, and
from
he just
when
has
the beginning of the episode.
biggest issue with it not being the
Well, we
original.
don't know what happens to the second.
Well, you're right.
iteration
We
of
don't
Leela.
know exactly what happens to second Leela.
It's entirely possible that.
Well, actually,
again,
there
knowing
would-
that-
Well, there would have been a Fry in that universe, so she could have had a normal life. in
But
that universe.
however,
No, she could have.
if we're following
That's
the
a good
deterministic universe from Big Bang through the creation of these characters and their lives up to this moment, the Fry in every universe will get in the time machine and get lost.
That's absolutely true.
So the third universe that they come upon, or that they
That's
come
the
upon.
only one. That's the only universe that we've seen
So
to
aren't
date.
you happy
Hang on,
that-
hang on. That's the only universe that we've seen to date where Leela actually gets to go on her date with Fry at the Cavern on the Green, because up until that point,
I don't see what the issue is then.
up until that point, Leela has grown old and died by herself infinitely throughout.
No, she got married once.
Well, to Hubert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then had other exploits, I'm assuming.
And did pretty well for herself,
Yeah.
business-wise.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Without
yeah.
Fry being around.
Oh, yeah, that
she
Planet
is
Express
like a
building with just like hundreds
conglomerate.
of ships coming in and out.
Yeah. So we can't really shit so much on what happened to her.
I don't think that she did. Okay, so
We are really going down the rabbit hole here.
No, because
do you
the-
have anything to say about time travel? Okay.
Maybe next universe.
So the opposing theory to the cyclical deterministic universe that you talked about earlier is that it's just a cyclical timeline. So it's not actually a different universe, it's just time resetting at the point of the Big Bang.
Yeah, okay. I can
So-
accept that that's a possibility.
So she wouldn't have, because it is the same Leela, it's just in that timeline, that was the one that Fry got sent forward into the future. Were it a deterministic universe model, the Frys from the previous universe would have showed up exactly at the same point from that time that Fry left. So as soon as the forwards only time machine from that universe goes, another one arrives from.
That's a great point.
So it would have
is
to
a good
be.
point.
Unless the
That-
universe at the start of the episode is literally the first universe ever in existence,
Okay.
there's a Fry from a previous
Oh,
universe that's
holy
showing
fuck.
up for
That's a
Leela
good
in
point,
that
too.
universe.
Okay, so assuming that is the first universe ever in existence, then that makes the deterministic universe model feasible, because that would have to be the initial Fry, Bender, and the Professor that go. If it's not, then it has to be the cyclical timeline theory, because that's the only way it would work without a second time ship crew coming immediately to that moment.
Yeah.
Well, now, okay, I have a question. No. I answered my own question in my thoughts. I was going to say...
Why don't you answer it out loud, because it's a podcast.
Yeah, don't
Well, I was going to say, how do we know that another crew didn't already come into the first universe that we see? The answer is because the people that we see, they survive and they actually go into the future. If that had already happened, then the Fry and Professor and Bender that we see in the first iteration of the universe would have been crushed.
Exactly.
So yeah, we know that that's not the case.
So in a cyclical sense, that must be the first universe.
No. Here's the thing, though. Like, the only... No, I'm just letting...
All I'm going to say is you didn't hear what James said, and then you didn't hear what Justin said after that. They make very good sense.
All right, do you guys...
And actually, it's sort of against what I was saying.
Reiterate real quick for
No,
me?
that's terrible audio.
Yeah,
All right,
no.
well, that's fine. I was just gonna
listen to the
say-
podcast like everybody else.
Exactly.
Come on.
That's never going to happen. No. Well, I was just going to say, with your whole situation saying they crushed... the only reason they crushed those, the third iteration, and I hope I'm not actually saying what you guys said, is that they stopped right when those people were still there. Like, had they left and the ship, they showed up and just landed, it would just be them.
So the
in
professor
that timeline.
just stop the time machine like 1 second too soon.
Yeah, exactly. Had he stopped
Yeah.
like a minute later, they would be Fry, Bender, and the professor of that fucking universe or time. So,
They wouldn't
really,
be of that time, but they would have seamlessly
they would
replaced
taken over for those characters.
Right.
Now, see, you know what it is? It's a gag. It's a joke. That's what they wanted to do. We're eliminating the paradox.
Right.
All right. Well, here's the thing. It wouldn't be a paradox had you fucking waited 2 minutes. Then it would just be you would be those people. And they would go on to do the same thing elsewhere.
So in a cyclical cosmology, this has implications because they have ended a cycle that up till now has ostensibly taken place infinitely since the beginning of time. So what now?
Well,
maybe they ended the universe.
Then it goes back to the temporal inertia that we talked about. Like, that ends, but then the next time that the timeline or the universe resets...
it's going to be Fry, Bender, and the Professor fucking up the timeline again. It's going to be years down the road.
I mean, they can fuck up the timeline all they want. It's still going to keep happening.
They closed a loop, though.
So what I'm saying is, in the next universe,
just like Looper.
But do they get in the time machine or do they get crushed?
Okay. So wait. You're saying
because if they don't get in the time machine, they can't be crushed.
The third iteration
time paradox back.
The third iteration that we see when they crush their counterparts and then they live through that life and then the universe just continues as normal until it entropies and then the next Big Bang happens. Yeah, what do the
Everyone
characters
comes
do?
back exactly the same. Their lives are exactly the same.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Do they get in the time machine or do they get crushed because neither one makes sense?
Fuck. I don't know. What do they do?
I feel like we're making this more confusing for our listeners now.
I think we need to take a break for a minute.
All right.
I agree. But this is why this is the best episode of Futurama of all time.
Because we just spent like the last 25 minutes talking about time travel theory.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, honestly, I'm on board with that.
Okay, we'll be back, maybe with jokes.
Maybe. Thank you for not thank you for listening. We'll be right back.
Comedy podcast.
Yeah, wasn't this a comedy podcast? Hi, this is the crew from the PlanEx Express Delivery Podcast.
Hello.
We are just this is a commercial break. This is a commercial break. But we'd like to inform you, if you'd like to support the show, we do have several ways that you can do that. The one in particular that we are going to tell you about today, I'm going to pass this off to James right now because he has all the information, but he will tell you right now.
Yeah, I'm the one who owns a computer.
Exactly.
Okay. So
the instructions, the notes that you have there look very simple, though. It just says, send vodka.
It says send vodka.
Yeah, to support us.
Yes, just support us. Please send vodka to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We'll find it. Don't worry.
Sure.
We always do.
But if you want a more direct way to support the show, we do have a merch store through the site TeePublic, who we're affiliated with. If you would like, go to our website, planetexpresspod.podbean.com. Click on the link in the episode description, and that'll take you directly to our merch page. Once you're there, we have dozens of designs for you to choose from. You pick the design you want, pick out t-shirt, hoodie, mug, laptop case, stickers, other things that I'm probably forgetting right
Jeez,
now.
No, that's a lot. I didn't realize we had that much even.
Oh, no.
But that's awesome. Now I'm going to go and check it out. Because
I'm gonna
do
go buy
want-
some as well.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I will as well.
I think this sounds fantastic.
Okay, guys, you pushed that a little too far. I was trying to make it fun for everyone. Now it's not.
It
all
is
right?
this is the funnest thing I've ever heard.
Actually,
Now,
forget this plug. We're going to buy our own merch
We're
right
buying merch. Also, though, that is not the only way you can support us. As always, we do want to hear from you on our Facebook page and on all the places you can listen to our show, Podbean being our flagship.
You could maybe rate us on iTunes,
Oh, yeah.
which would be nice of
Yes,
you to
yes. We love hearing from it. And we do have email addresses, which we'll give at the end of the show.
But any support that you guys can throw at the show is much appreciated. We are a completely DIY endeavor, and we did not expect the show to be even as big as it is, whatever modicum of success we've been able to achieve.
Yeah, I don't think we
throughout
can
this.
measure it at any... Not at this point.
But if you want, please do leave us a review in the iTunes store and check out our merch page on TeePublic. Again, go to planetexpresspod.podbean.com to click the link that will lead you there. And everything goes right back into supporting the show. We do not get paid for this.
No, we do not.
We lose money every episode that we do.
Technically, we'd all be bankrupt right now.
We're not, you're not already?
No, I have
I'm there.
not filed.
I am fully in the red.
Well, that explains why our studio looks like shit.
Hey, fuck you.
I've changed my identity 6 times since we started this show.
All right, so yes, if you need any more information, there is an email address we'll give at the end of the show, and please send us money.
Just loose money.
Loose change. We love it.
Sacagawea dollars.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so wait, are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's. Okay, well, how does any of this affect the last episode, where Fry and Leela grow old together in essentially like a stasis of the
best
universe,
episode?
where then they say like, "Oh, you want to go around again?" And then they just like apparently
Because it
fucking
goes around
loop-
again.
loop back again.
And the same thing happens, and here we are.
Yeah, I mean, I guess essentially by them coming back on the third time around and landing back in the universe, crushing their older selves, they've disrupted the loop, and in every subsequent loop, Leela and Fry live together.
Bam! Mic drop. Can I drop the mic? Because you gotta make a noise.
Give it a shot.
I don't know what you're excited about. I mean, you're still not right about anything.
Well, unfortunately, it does go against what some of the things this just means that there is a destiny, a fate for these two characters that cannot be avoided. It's going to happen, no matter what.
And why is that?
I don't know. I can't explain it. I'm not going to say anything about it. We're talking about a cartoon show at this point. You're way philosophically, and we're way out of what I can even explain.
Elisa and I were talking about this earlier today, and she was like, "You realize these aren't real people."
Yeah. I am going to do what is it? One of our friends, he was on a show, Jesse. What he would do is, point of order.
Oh yeah.
Fake characters.
Yes.
Fake world. Completely fictional.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm just gonna end it with deal with it, I guess.
But that's what makes a show good. That's what gives you a connection to a show, and you stop thinking of the characters as fictional. I mean, I think that's laudable.
I'm pretty sure that has been like, I mean, I don't know. This has been my input to this whole thing. Suds is not necessarily wrong about this, but who gives a shit?
That's the thing about time travel and the cyclical nature of time, is that every single one of us is right.
Well, I think
even when we're contradictory.
Yeah, I think that's why people love time travel stories, because we don't know. We have no idea how any of these scenarios would end, and I think that's the fun of it in general. Now, I do love the little explanations, like even all the time travel movies you've seen. Back to the Future, where Doc Brown explains the split off of fucking universes and that they have to jump back to this one time. Or, well, no, I'm going to bring it up because we do need to talk about it. This whole episode has a very ingrained in the Time Machine, the original story by H.G. Wells, correct?
Yeah.
The machine itself looks very similar to the actual Time Machine.
Yeah, well, and also at some, I don't remember what year it is, but one of their stops when they're going into the future does have like the
Morlocks and the
like the smart small people and then like the monster.
Now, and that's the funny thing. They did the kind of they did the original. That's how they were supposed to look in the book. That's how they looked. It was these like short, like
I only saw the
impish.
movie.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
and
But the Eloi weren't hyper intelligent. They were actually dumber than the Morlocks.
yeah, they were cattle. That's basically what they were in the book. Yeah, but I think
Beautiful Aryan cattle.
Yeah, were they Aryan?
According to the 60s, 1960s.
That makes sense. All right, yeah. But when you said, "Have you seen that?" the first thing I thought was the Guy Pearce movie, which is.
Well, wait, what's that? Is that?
And there's a movie before that too. There's
There's
one you referenced.
quite a few.
There was there was like the Time Machine from like the late.
Oh no,
90s.
it was the same in 2000. I want to say 2002, 2003. It was Guy Pearce and a bunch of no names, but story was changed significantly. What they said was that the original ending to the movie was too grim, because in the book, I believe, like they just refer to him as the time traveler.
Okay.
He didn't have a name at all, and it doesn't end happy.
He essentially
at
witnesses
all.
the end of Earth.
Yeah.
He's stuck, right?
Yeah, he gets fucking screwed. Like that's basically he just. And he figures out, like, with time travel, that you cannot actually change any event. Like, it's going to happen. Like, it is a fixed thing in time. Like, he stopped, like, in the story, I believe...
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no, I'll make it quick. His fiance dies, and he tries to, like, fix that, but it keeps happening. Like, so he finds out you just can't change time. So he ends up traveling to the future, and see, I don't know the whole.
I read it in high school. I can't totally remember.
What were you gonna say?
Well, what you just said, like it's all gonna happen. You can't change it. I was gonna say, has anybody watched Lost? Because that does get into time travel, and like one of the iconic lines from that show in like the 4th or 5th season, where they start getting into like time travel. Whatever happened, is one of the lines. Like, you can't, there's nothing you can do. It just, whatever happened, that's how it is for all of eternity. You can't change it, no matter what you try to do.
We got really dark on this.
It's all right. It's not bad.
It's a very nihilistic view of time travel. Just like, fuck it, man, it doesn't matter. Time, it's gonna reset and like.
All right. Well, before we get back into the show, because there are still things that I want to talk about before we wrap up, but I do just want to ask you guys, like, I don't know, like, if you had to just pick one, like, what is your favorite time travel movie or show? Like, what, what is something that you really are into?
Well, see, the thing
with
is,
regards to time travel.
I love time.
So do I.
Time
I
travel
fucking love
movies.
it. Me
They're
too.
fun. A lot of times.
And by the way, we never mentioned the Planet of the Apes reference in this episode.
Fuck that movie.
No, I have something to say about this. But did you guys have anything? Do you have a response to Mike? Do you know?
The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror segment.
Yeah, okay.
I personally like the butterfly
Okay.
effect theory because it's just fun.
Wait, isn't that the butter junk effect or something? Wasn't that the?
I don't know what they
Simpsons
titled
No,
that.
that's
but
a later episode of
say,
this show. That's when they.
Oh fuck, you're right. That is okay. Sorry, that is
yeah,
Futurama.
but I mean I like the Because if you look at something like Terminator or anything like that, like there's always problems. There's always like
Well, that's why Terminator did.
some later movie that fucking blows it and
Yeah.
ruins everything.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
when you go back in time, you change something, you go back to your time, everything's different. That's just fun. There isn't paradox there, and I think that's my answer.
Okay.
Why are there no donuts? Well, I can say in recent years, I thought Looper was a good
Oh yeah, me
time
too.
travel.
I liked that
I mean,
a lot.
they didn't explain the whole time travel thing. They kind of left it to its own, its own thing. Now, if you want to go to nostalgic wise, Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
that would be my time travel movie to go to. Now, there are plenty of others. I saw...
So you're like real into a movie where he
almost
had sex with his mom.
Yeah, of course. I saw that coming. Makes sense. James, do you want to comment at all? I know.
No, I think he pretty much nailed it.
Yeah, okay.
It was some movie, I can't remember the title of it right now, but it was from probably like the mid 2000s, and it's these like two like schlubby white collar guys.
Primer.
Primer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Primer is
like the
insane.
most like meticulous time travel movie. Like, you have to watch it more than once, because if you don't, you're not picking up like the little nuances that they put in there. And the same guy, like, he does a bunch of other movies that there's always like these little things that you have to watch for.
Yeah, Primer is fucking insane. And if you just do like a Google search for like Primer timelines, there are graphs where they're like, apparently there are like hundreds of iterations of timelines in that movie if you're really paying attention. But there's no way that watching it once or twice you would have any idea of what's truly going on. It's fucking insane. But I love that movie.
Yeah.
It's great.
And it's almost their time travel is almost tedious though.
Yeah.
Like, that is a slow burn time travel movie.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
Yeah.
There's also a Spanish movie called Time Crimes.
That was my answer.
Yes.
Really good and really tight.
Time Crimes
Really
is
fucking
fucking
good.
amazing.
Yep.
Yes.
Good.
Fucking great.
We're on the same page.
Amazing.
I wanted to make sure to get that in there.
time travel
I'm
movie.
glad you brought it up. I wouldn't
tight
even
as
thought
hell.
of it.
As far as
jeez.
the chronology.
That was
and
gonna
the,
be my answer.
Logic of it.
God, when you first fucking see that guy, like the first guy, when he's just himself, like go into the woods and see the guy with the bandaged head and shit, and you think like, oh, this might be like a monster movie of some sort. No,
Nope.
I don't want to give any spoilers, but like, holy fuck,
Yeah, it's really good.
The payoff is well worth.
Yeah, that movie is
Yeah.
insanely well done.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
can we talk about the song?
Before we get to the song, I want to talk about Planet of the Apes.
Oh, okay.
God damn it! All right, I'll sit this
I
one
love
out.
Planet of the Apes.
So do I, and that is,
Yeah.
of course, the classic. You know, Charlton Heston. He sees the Statue of Liberty is all fucked up.
did it.
Yeah,
My
well,
issue
okay.
in this,
You
the
find
way
out. You find out at the end of the original Planet of the Apes. It's not in the future. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not. It's not.
Spoilers.
It's not some other planet. It just happens to be in the future. They're still on Earth. Statue of Liberty is buried in the sand.
And the homage to that in this episode
It's hilarious.
It is. It's good in the way that it builds, and it's just like, and then the apes destroyed their society, and then the
bird
birds
people
and the
took
cows,
over.
and
Yeah.
I don't know, what's that, a slug?
Yeah.
That's a good visual jag. I take a little bit of an issue. First of all, why did they build the statues right next to each other?
Oh.
Also,
James.
why didn't the next civilization clean up the first civilization statue? Why is that still just hanging around?
Well, they might have just wanted to one up them, be like, hey, we're putting our statue right here. Fuck you. Because certainly, like when the bird people, you know, when they stopped being in power and the slugs took over, probably not all of the bird people were dead. There were still some left around. So the slug people wanted to be like, hey, guess what? We're putting our statue right here. It's going to be 10 feet taller than your statue.
I think that's the same argument that people who are pro-Confederate statues make.
Jeez. You know, we almost went a whole episode without being political at all.
We were talking about time travel.
He played Alex Jones quote 60 seconds in.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, he doesn't. Jeez. Oh, jeez, it's terrible.
Dave, will you toss us over there by the bag that's next to the garbage can?
The other thing that I wanted to bring up, and this is not really, this is a high praise for the episode, but Katie Sagal delivers one of the best deliveries of a line that I think in the entire series.
Are you talking about when she's sad and mad?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She kicks the TV, and
yeah.
I'm not even going to attempt to replicate it,
Oh,
but
come
that is just
on.
like, she is
Come
such a
on.
fucking pro.
Yeah,
That
she
is an amazing delivery.
It's a great line.
We haven't done any impressions this episode.
Can we maybe keep it that way?
No!
Oh,
No
no,
way.
that's not true. James did your mom earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
Oh, God.
No, never mind. She's totally out of the country. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't do anything.
Right. I mean, I don't know how I could.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. You're here now.
She's very far away.
Wait, are you here?
Okay, so you remember how I hate songs in Futurama?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
here we go.
Well, guess what? I love the song in this episode
How is it that you...
because they wrote it for the episode. It wasn't some shitty pop song.
It was a shitty pop
There's
song.
2 great songs in this because the Happy
what?
Birthday is also really hilarious.
Oh,
like
that's
the
right.
fact that
Yeah,
Happy Birthday
yeah.
is technically copyrighted, and so when I just love like whenever a show has to sing Happy Birthday, they have to come up with their own version.
Yeah, you know it's not copyrighted
Yeah,
anymore,
I did.
though.
There's a podcast about that.
Finally, I
don't remember
can
what it
stop
was,
paying out for Happy Birthday.
Somebody fought that legal battle.
Yeah.
But the song when they're actually traveling into the future and they're kind of like stopping, you know, here and there.
By the way, you're wrong.
What?
They didn't write this song. It's an actual song.
Well, it's
Oh no, it's based on something.
It's a parody.
In
Yeah.
the year 2525.
Right? Yeah. Who's that by though?
Just a second. I'll give
It reminded me of the old Conan O'Brien.
Oh, in the year 2000. Yeah. Yeah, I used to love that.
Zagger and Evans was the name of the group.
Oh yeah, that's
My favorite. That's my favorite band.
Yeah.
big influence on the Beatles.
Yeah, I used to love that, and I loved when they came back. Like, they did that when Conan like got the Tonight Show.
Mm-hmm. Very briefly.
Yeah. What did he have that for like 6 months or something? But yeah, they would do that then, and it was hilarious because it was past the year 2000.
Past the year 2000.
So wait, giraffes took over.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the
some point.
futures.
The Night on an Ostrich, which I'm pretty sure is an
Oh.
allusion to a game.
It's
a video
Joust.
game. Yeah,
It is. I liked that it seemed like they were running with a theme of different sort of things that they rode, because they rode walruses in the ice one, and then they rode an ostrich, and then the giraffe was pulled by humans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I feel like that was a nice little 3.
But I like that. Well, I can't remember the exact lyric, but the knight with his sword practicing proctology.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. Rusty sword for practicing proctology.
Well, and then there's the one that they go through where, and this one is a little bit, this plays with the physics, I think, more than anything else in the episode, and it's the water world one that they go through.
The schlubby merman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the way that the ship, the time machine is floating, I feel like that's going to change its position in the universe. That might account for why they were 10 feet and a little bit
the
over.
water level is higher, and that's brilliant.
Yeah, there's some issues with the time machine. Do you guys see that where they're like just slowed down I'll shoot Hitler from the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the window that is open is square, and the actual like opening is like a. I don't even know how to describe that. I could draw it for you, but I don't think there's a.
No, that's going to be really good on a
Yeah,
podcast.
exactly. Here, James, what is this?
Okay.
Right.
Well,
You have no idea, right? That is not an actual shape.
It's like, I mean, it looks like
quarter of a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question also about the window of the time machine because.
Why is the window of the time machine open?
Well, no, how. I don't. Okay. In this instance, what I'm about to ask you about, I don't think it was open when Fry and them initially get in there and he is writing his card.
He drops it out the window, though.
But it looked like it went. It looked like
through
it
the
went.
windshield.
It looked like it went straight through the windshield.
I thought it like slipped through like the seam on the door.
I don't know, maybe, but the animation just maybe wasn't great right there because I thought it went straight through the
That's what
windshield.
it looked like to me.
Yeah.
There is actually the animation on that I can't speak to, but there is when they initially lurch forward in time and the card flies out, there is a very like one frame of like you can see Leela
Oh, really?
through the.
I
That's
don't know. I don't know.
awesome.
I don't know that I noticed that.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, well, in the later part, you see the time machine float through and hit the
Well,
card
yeah,
hits.
you
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
So they're trying to keep with that continuity, I think.
Yeah, I didn't notice the early one though.
All right. Let me ask you this.
Let me ask you something.
Let me ask you something.
Okay. Yeah.
In the year 10,000, where are all of the people? Is it just those bums by the?
I think
The
nuclear-
burn barrels?
Yeah, probably mostly dead, and then they multiplied.
You know what I think happened is Donald Trump got elected, and that
Again?
His head in
Donald
the
Trump's
year
head.
9998.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the outcome of that stupid choice. You know, makes
Okay.
sense, right?
Okay.
Yeah. What's the doomsday clock at now?
2 minutes still.
Yeah, 2 minutes still.
Oh,
God.
fuck. I wish
Does that not? All right. Now that we're
I
on
wish
it,
I could time travel to when it was at 12.
I wish I could time travel to when it got passed. We could just be done.
I wish that I could time travel until I see the heat death of the universe and just cycle back around until I was
Yeah.
like 10 years old. and then just slide right in there and pretend that, like, kill my younger self and just pretend that I...
look like this?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Oh no, Mom! I grew up in like a night.
Yeah.
No, Suds is gonna go back and kill him.
This is a fun
play, Beard.
The weirdest situation ever.
That really adds kind of a dark overtone to the movie Big. Yeah. We talked about the time machine reference with the dumb larks and
Yeah.
the little, I don't know, the runty little
Yeah.
guys. Let's talk about the sexy time travel geniuses.
Oh my god, they were so sexy, am I right? Okay, so yeah, Bender, well, I feel like we have to talk about the previous
Yeah.
stop when they were traveling.
Terminator based,
Yeah, the-
obviously.
Yes. Of course, yeah.
Terminator Future.
Yeah.
Basically.
Mountain of Skulls, close to Blood Lake or Island or whatever it was. Bender was super excited, but
He makes it sound really good.
yeah.
Comfortable place to settle down.
Yeah.
But since all humans were being systematically killed, obviously the Professor and Fry, like, they looked behind Bender and just, like, you know, acknowledge, like, no, we're not staying here. So yeah, then they go ahead and they wind up with these, like, sexy, smart babes.
This is real quick too. They don't even like dwell on it at all. It's like first we have Bender's favorite timeline, and then we have the perfect timeline.
The one that would allow them to go
Yeah.
back home perfectly. Yeah.
Well, that
Which-
plus 4 human males.
Also, like, yeah, touches on another fictional trope of
Yeah.
the all-female society
Yes.
that has learned to live and flourish without men, but for some fucking reason is overjoyed when men randomly show up.
Well,
Wait, is that Zardoz? Is that the same?
Oh yeah.
That
Zardos.
I wanted to ask if you knew this was a specific reference to anything.
Well, they do it in Rick and Morty. They make a reference to
I mean,
Zardos.
there's like the
Zardos.
Amazons in Greek mythology.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
Her
okay.
Land by Charlotte Perkins Gilman.
Well, and as we
Wow.
know, we've already seen in Futurama they reference the Amazonians.
Mhm.
It's the same
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, same concept.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, they have snooze now. So
Oh, snooze now.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, this is immediately packed. They don't even. They settle on it for a second, and I do love Fry's line is, "I could eat and fertilize."
Yeah.
Not a
But
thought.
they're even willing to entertain old and stupid
Yep.
specimen.
I do, look, that trope, as terrible as it is, it's always one of my favorite things to see, especially when it goes wrong. And this is one of the best, where they're just like, nope.
oh no, if they'd stayed in that universe, they would have fucked it up.
Yeah, something
Irrevocably.
Certainly.
Something bad would happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as they move on from there, what is the next? Oh no, this is where they
This
hit.
is the year 1
is it
billion.
the water or is it the the like parched earth?
And this is some of the, well, one of the best lines in the whole show, which we comment on pretty consistently. After the fact that, I already brought this up. So Fry comes along the Cavern on the Green,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of puts our whole, what were we arguing about? They're not tethered to the Earth, the time machine. Well, apparently they are.
Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah, Justin is
Well,
right.
for the sake of the plot of this show, we just have to agree that they are tethered to the Earth, no matter where in time they are.
Yeah.
Well, they're tethered to the Earth because obviously the core of the Earth has a gravitational pull in itself.
Yeah, but okay, look, if we were really going to get into it, it's like how we don't know how the professor's time travel machine works. Is it going through a wormhole?
There's no propulsion system.
We don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't
Equals
know.
MC squared.
Yeah.
The motion, the speed has not changed. So either they're in an immense energy field,
Which just
Or-
sucks it in.
or their mass has been altered.
I
None
just-
of which changes their position or their inertia.
But I have a really hard time believing that they're traveling through time, which requires an immense amount of energy, and that they're somehow being tethered to the Earth by Earth's gravity, which isn't all that strong comparatively to the rest of the universe. Like, they're physically traveling ahead in time into the future,
Yeah.
but somehow Earth is keeping them tethered. That is wonky to me.
Well, since they are physically traveling, so they're not necessarily through time, but they're traveling in space-time.
Okay.
So a wormhole is the best thing that I can equate that to,
Yes,
where
but-
they're not corporeally.
We don't see a
We have to
wormhole
physically
being
move through
manifested.
a wormhole. There is no physical motion. That's why I'm saying energy.
Oh, well,
And my
certainly.
theory,
I think a wormhole would solve all of those issues.
But my theory as to where they got the energy is Nibbler had Taco Bell last night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. That right there is
All right,
comedy
fine.
gold.
Yeah, that explains it. Yep. You're right.
All right, so
But I have to imagine the machine would be generating its own wormhole. That's why
I guess,
that was
yeah,
my argument
yeah.
before. That
Okay,
Justin already brought up the fact that when you jump on, look, this planet that we're on, this
Yeah.
satellite in around the sun is moving billions of miles through space, and you jump, and yet here you are. Here we're sitting. We're not
Yeah.
being thrust.
No. That's because we are still within Earth's gravity.
But the time machine in itself.
However, if we are being propulsed,
Yeah, but you don't know how a
So in a-
wormhole works.
In a relativistic view of forward time travel, essentially time is just dilated so that it is moving more slowly for you.
okay,
Correct?
right,
Okay.
right, yeah.
So time is moving more slowly,
Yeah.
but around you if someone were looking at you, time would be moving
at
the normal speed.
Oh, that's interesting.
So you
because
were-
in that sense,
you-
why would you not be tethered from Earth?
Exactly.
Time is just moving at a
Time is
different
just moving at a
speed.
different rate, but you are still
okay.
affected by gravity
Yeah.
from the outside view at the same rate as all of us are affected by gravity.
We should be like.
No, we should
We
not.
should be physicists.
No!
We
in
never
no
should have gone to
way!
college.
Hashtag Star Talk. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh,
we are available.
yeah.
Jeez, I'm putting that on there. You know what? I gotta take more pictures. I gotta make sure that Tyson knows what we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, we haven't really
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about.
He's
well,
gonna
I
be
mean,
excited.
Yeah, he's going. Can I be on this show?
I do like the cartoons. We didn't really talk about Leela getting smacked in the face by that card.
Oh, we briefly mentioned it.
Yeah.
I mean, because, she's
Nice.
growing old and fucking dies.
Well, we don't see her die. We see her get married to Qbert.
Yeah.
Oh, which no, that's terrible.
What? Because he's a clone, he doesn't deserve love?
No, because it's basically he looks like Fry. Like no.
Why are you're not even like on mic right now? Why are we listening to you?
Because I'm talking and it can still hear me. How well am I coming in?
Faintly.
Okay. All right.
It's fine. I can amplify it in post.
That's what we do.
Yeah, but this is when Leela figures out that Fry wasn't late or died in a nuclear stripper explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No further explanation needed for that. But he was
Also,
just
I
thrust
claim
forward in time.
Nuclear Stripper Explosion as a band name.
That's good.
Okay, we got it.
Oh, hey guys, is that what we're rolling with here?
Until someone comes up with something funnier. Yeah, and this is so she goes to Cavern on the Green. I should have researched this because I do not know how long it takes for stalagmites to form.
Are those stalagmites?
Yep.
I get them confused.
Yep.
But
Yes.
Stalagmites has a G in it, so they grow on the ground. Stalactites has a C in it, so they grow on the ceiling.
Oh shit.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. That's very smart.
I had heard the one. It's stalactites hold onto the ceiling tight, and then stalagmites.
You might find it on the ground.
Or like reach for the ceiling with all their might is like how that.
Interesting. Yeah.
Oh,
A number of
okay.
devices.
Yeah. Huh.
So what have we've talked about time travel, we've talked about quantum physics, we've talked about caving now.
Wait,
Spelunking.
We gotten all the sciences in?
didn't I have something to say on the back porch when we were smoking over the break about the heat death of the universe?
Yes.
Probably.
I mean, I did. Did you?
I
feel
like I did, but
So,
I can't remember what.
My thing is that, okay, the theories of the end of the universe are that one of two things. Either it can expand forever and we can continue, all of the atoms break apart, there's nothing. The other thing is that the expansion of the universe that we're experiencing now is still from the Big Bang. Eventually gravity will overcome it and everything will crunch back in on itself into a singularity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the show seemed to imply that the universe was ever expanding
I remember what I was going to say, but continue, sorry.
and that it would just peter out and be done. And that's more like the current theory of what seems to be happening now. The expansion of the universe is actually accelerating, and that's where theories of dark matter come from. However, the theory of what they call the Big Crunch, where gravity overtakes the universe's expansion, everything shrinks back into itself and shrinks back into a singularity, would be more consistent with the idea that there's going to be another Big Bang.
Oh, okay.
Because everything that
We said that is more
every
consistent.
because everything that is here now in the universe condenses, shrinks back down into a singularity, and then eventually bangs out again. And then it's basically like an accordion, opening and closing
Well, here's
forever.
my question. We are only aware of our general universe.
Correct.
Now,
You're 100% right.
But there are more,
Potentially.
yes, possibilities going on
That statement
outside.
was so vague it could be a state.
Well, did it work to open the conversation to more?
Well, wait, what
Just asking.
what
Right?
what Marvel universe are you
Well,
talking
I'm talking about 616.
Oh, I prefer New 52.
Okay,
but
you're talking about DC then.
Oh shit!
That's
Yeah,
completely
I
different.
don't
Yeah,
know
don't
anything
worry
about
about
comics.
that.
I'm sorry.
I'm
Okay,
just saying, you're
Justin-
we're talking about just what we know about this area of the universe, basically. How is that? How can we even say that's what's going to happen?
The short answer is math.
Thank you for the maths.
The long
I mean,
answer is we
essentially,
don't
like-
understand
no,
the
no,
math.
no. Long
No.
answer. God loves us all, and He knows what's best. for us.
I knew it was a spiritual reason. I knew it.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question?
You've been watching that Scientology
Yeah,
DVD,
exactly.
man.
Yeah, haven't you?
God, I love that Scientology.
First chapter's the best.
I know,
It's
that's the only one
we
I've ever
watch.
seen. It's amazing though. It's got me, I'm hooked. Can't wait to see chapter 2. But all right, so death of the universe. I kind of know the answer to my question, or maybe I can surmise what you guys will say. But death of the universe, all subatomic particles decay to literally nothing.
Are they
Literally nothing.
They still have the machine going forward too at this
Mhm.
point, so they're just watching the stars die and everything.
Well, no, I'm.
yeah.
Well, I think at one point they are just right before like a commercial break. They're not actually moving forward. They are just sort of stuck in nothing.
Do you want to add the best line of the whole episode?
No, let him finish talking.
Okay, all right. But this is part of it.
You want to grab a beer and watch the universe end?
Right.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing. I love that
That
line.
is. Thank you very much.
It's
Suds.
so good.
Yeah.
But here's a question that I have. How does the time machine still exist in this essentially quantum vacuum of nothingness between the prior universe and the new universe when all subatomic particles have
So you're saying, what are they breathing, essentially? How are they
everything?
How are they not
How
destroyed
does
by vacuum?
How does the ship exist? How do any of their
James.
how do any of the atoms in their
So
bodies
you're saying,
exist?
how have they not decayed with the rest of the universe?
Exactly.
Relativity. Because they're at a relativistic state that is, we've discussed this through whatever means this is time traveling. Time is moving more slowly for them than it is for the rest of the universe. So the
Okay.
atoms in their body are only decaying at the same rate as the atoms in your body are right now.
They're not the ship
Oh.
and the crew do not
Okay.
exist in
No, they're displaced from the timeline, basically.
No, they're in the timeline, but they're traveling in such a way that
they're existing in a subchannel of space-time. So they're not corporeally, you couldn't just go up, and this is why no one can go up and see and touch the ship. They're not existing in the universe in the way that we perceive the laws
They're
of physics.
moving way too fast for time dilation. Once again,
It's not necessarily, time dilation, yes, but that's not why they are not decaying with the rest of them. Essentially, they're not on the same plane of existence. They're in, again, a wormhole for short.
Mhm.
So they're not
Okay.
they're not occupying space in the universe. They're occupying
Let's just
space
talk
in
in my
time.
Have you guys seen Cowboy Bebop? Obviously, you have.
I have not.
I
You have
haven't.
not seen.
No.
All right, then this isn't gonna fall on people.
I
who
turned off
cannot
Adult Swim when
even-
the funny shows were over.
Dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Cowboy Bebop was an excellent show.
I think Venture Brothers is the last show that I
Alright,
watched
well, then I
on
won't
Adult
talk
Swim.
about it. It had to do with hyperspace travel,
Yeah.
which if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not gonna bring it.
I don't.
Continue,
I
James.
don't.
No, ever since C-Lab 20.
Yeah,
no, C-Lab is the
Aquatine,
fucking-
Space Ghost, Sea-Lab.
C-Lab.
End of story.
Yep.
Dude,
Yep.
Cowboy Bebop
Bradshaw?
was on the same
Oh, yeah.
time.
Bradshaw.
I'll throw
Brad.
Metalocalypse up there too.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I think the
Hey,
first
Dad,
couple of
what
seasons
do
are
you
really
think?
good.
Well, let me
Yeah.
tell you. I can't even do what he said, like Hispanic, like, well, son.
But when they come back, the grab a six-pack and watch the end of the universe is a great line.
Yeah.
I love when they come back and it's the second Big Bang And Fry just goes, "Did anyone else see that?"
Oh yeah, he's also shielding his eye from the Big Bang, which I thought was pretty funny.
No, what is it? And ladies and gentlemen, the moon.
Yeah.
But I just love that literally the only thing in existence and this gargantuan explosion, and he's just like, "Oh, is anyone else paying attention?" Like,
Yeah.
what else would they be looking at? They already said they don't want to talk.
Yeah. Well, Bender said he didn't want to talk.
I mean, why would he?
Yeah, I feel like that is the proper response for the end of the world. I don't want to have a conversation.
Nah. What else is there, really?
What else do you have here, James?
Oh, well, this is another kind of an issue, and it kind of actually goes along with what we were talking about earlier, where the machine, it can't move independently in the physical realm.
Yep.
So how do they get close to either Hitler or Eleanor
1945
Roosevelt to hit
Berlin.
them with a laser gun?
That's a great point.
That is actually...
Where you all watch more Futurama more intensively than I. Where's the Planet Express office located?
It's in
Manhattan.
Yeah, Manhattan. Like,
Manhattan.
the shitty part of
It
Manhattan.
is. I mean, I buy that.
I think Lower West
So they're
Side.
basically implying that Hitler and Eleanor Roosevelt were in New York, in the vicinity of each other at the same time.
And that kind of throws our whole theory that the machine isn't moving. So our time travel arguments have been...
But then how does, the professor know he needs to, assuming that it's not linked somehow gravitationally, how does he know I need to stop it at exactly this second on this day for the machine to be positioned in Nazi Germany?
Well, see, here's the thing. As far as I could tell, like the best continuity is that the machine doesn't move. It just travels through time. It's at a fixed point. And everything, because like with Fry, he comes across the Captain Green. If it could jump around to different spots, like...
Well, the solution that I kind of came up with is it has to be the gun that he's using.
It just shoots really far.
Yeah.
Well,
he can like
not necessarily
zero
shoots really
in.
far, but it can target in the same way. I don't know how you would. I don't know, like a remote controlled drone strike where you can pick a target far away and then just pull the trigger and it hits it. That's the only thing I could think of, because even if, like we had mentioned, the machine isn't tethered gravitationally somehow, and he was still trying to hit Hitler the third time around. How did he hit Eleanor Roosevelt?
Hitler.
Did Eleanor Roosevelt go to Nazi Germany at some point?
Well, they didn't slow down, so they're still traveling. So even if he shot,
Okay.
Yeah, the timing.
laser beam-
The timing
the-
just
I-
might not
no.
have been perfect.
Guys, I've got it.
Okay.
The laser beam is fired out of the time machine.
Okay.
Yes.
So when the laser beam leaves the time machine, it re-enters the
Oh.
normal timeline.
You would think the professor would have thought of that, though.
He is a senile old man.
Well, he
So
also
although-
killed Eleanor Roosevelt.
Although the ship is bound by Earth's inertia, when the laser leaves the ship, it is tethered to the inertia of the faster time. So it is moving far faster than the Earth, and the Earth could rotate under it.
It's not all that different from if you were just driving in a car down the street
But
and trying to shoot somebody.
also,
And
also,
as you're moving, you aim at them and you shoot, but you
I think
like
we
it's
just
gonna
I
got
have
put
to-
on a list.
I have to.
wildly
I have to
off-
also
off
bring up the
target.
logic that if that is true, if that theory is true, the card ejected from
Oh, would have
the
killed
ship at the
Leela.
beginning would have just blown her head apart.
Yes, exactly. Would have fucking
Oh, that's
incinerated
true.
her
That's
head.
true.
Oh, jeez. We've gone way down the
So,
fucking hole
catch-22.
here. All right. All right.
I also like that this is the timeline that they stay in as well.
The Eleanor Roosevelt is dead.
They didn't decide to I hit Eleanor Roosevelt. I guess let's go around one more time and we'll actually stop and try for Hitler. No, they just stayed in the timeline where Eleanor Roosevelt was murdered by time travelers.
Mike, are you very sad for Teddy in this timeline? Or not Teddy?
Frank
Franklin.
Yeah.
No, I don't feel
the connection to
I don't feel a lot of
that you
emotion
do too.
about that. No.
I'm very embarrassed that I got the wrong Roosevelt.
No.
I would have done.
Have you listened to this the whole episode? I've been getting wrong shit wrong.
His wife died too.
All right, so we are nearing the end of.
Well, let's get there.
Oh yeah.
The last note I have just says Bender's corpse bridge.
Okay.
I have to imagine he's buried people there.
I'm going to lead up to it. They get home.
Yeah,
we see that they kill their...
They're 10 feet above.
They're duplicates. We'll call them that for this one.
So wait a second. Now wait a goddamn second.
Wait a goddamn second.
You think...
No, hang on one second here.
Oh wait, Jimmy Stewart, do you have something
Jimmy
to say?
Stewart, do you have...
I just want to talk to you about time travel here for a second. Oh God, you talking about the cyclical timeline and the temporal inertia? I don't understand it.
You
definitely listened
don't know what you're talking
to the
about.
Matt Besser.
I posted it to our Facebook page.
Oh, I think I liked it. But yeah, the Matt Besser comedy album doing impressions of Jimmy Stewart answering tech support questions. Anyhow,
we're gonna fix your time machine now.
You're telling me that in this third iteration universe that we see, that it's the same characters as the first, despite the fact that it's 10 feet lower. I mean, that just tells us immediately that there is something that is different about it. It's not exactly the same.
Well, we
just like their ears pop sooner when they go on a plane.
We just talked about how continuity in this episode
Their
has
atoms
been shit.
might be the same, actually, but they're not the same.
What was the thing we brought up that might have fucked up
everything?
everything?
It was the Waterworld iteration of the universe where they're kind of displaced by their buoyancy.
The water is higher than the land. It had to have been higher than the land would have been because it covered the land.
Yeah. The only thing that would have changed this universe to make it different than the other ones was, well, they killed Eleanor Roosevelt. And the other one they killed fucking Hitler.
That would have been a bigger difference,
yeah,
I would argue.
That would have affected so much more.
Mm-hmm.
So that in itself would have changed the characters altogether, unless it is a predetermined timeline. Which I don't even know how that would work. What were you calling it?
What do you mean?
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
What, the deterministic timeline?
Yes, thank you.
I don't even think we should get into the fact that they have acknowledged in the show that there are at least 2 universes.
Oh my God.
Are you fucking kidding? Dude, there's more than 2 universes. Farnsworth created a whole shit ton of universes.
Well, I was thinking about in the movie where they go to the end of the universe.
That wasn't a movie. That was an actual.
Oh, but they see each other, and the only difference is that they're all wearing cowboy hats.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then there's the Farnsworth Paradox.
One of the best episodes ever.
Best, yeah.
Actually, I would say it's better than this episode.
You would be wrong.
What did it? Do we have that?
Well, let's here. You keep talking. I'm gonna look for it.
Okay. You weren't around
just
for
keep
those.
talking.
Nope.
I can. I just keep talking. What did you
Keep
think?
the listeners interested by talking about how I wasn't around for previous episodes.
Sorry, guest.
Farnsworth Paradox was the only one to get straight 5s.
Ooh.
What did
you got the scores there?
Yeah, we have. Well, couple. How many seasons back?
This goes back to season 3.
Oh, okay. So we have a few amount of. Well, what did you think of Farnsworth Paradox? Just offhand. Do you remember it?
I don't remember it.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry. I'm a
no,
terrible
that's
guest.
fine. No, that's fine.
And you called me out on it. I'm never coming back.
Don't do that. We need to have you back. This is like the best science conversation we've had in a long time.
Give us an out, and come on.
No, I'm screwed up. So,
Maybe
yeah,
in
there
another
are.
universe.
What's that?
I said maybe in another universe.
We'll split the timeline.
Just split it. Just split
Like maybe in a galaxy far, far away.
No, in the
I don't understand what that's a reference to.
Don't
in the
you
timeline.
dare!
I just. What do you mean? What's that referencing? I just made that up. I've never heard that before.
That's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Our Captain Kirk here.
Oh, Star Trek!
Yeah, that's what that line is from.
I thought
yeah.
it was Dracula.
Terrible but great movie.
No. Blade.
It was from Blade.
You mean Sling Blade?
No, do you remember this when Ashley couldn't? She
That
kept
is what
she
I'm
couldn't
talking
think of.
about.
Oh, that's right.
She had
Sling
no...
Blade Trinity.
It was
Yeah.
Sling Blade.
I would watch the hell out of that movie!
That was a great day in drunkenness at the bar.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I'm gonna kill some vampires.
Alright, so we are at the end of the episode. You know the
God.
gist. Would you like to do your Slurmy first, or would you like us to do ours?
No, you go around. I'll go last.
Okay, alright.
Dave, you go fucking first.
Oh no, no, mine's gonna be short. I do love this episode. Obviously, some of the time travel shit, I dislike because it fucks with their other time travel things that happen in this show, which are pretty consistent. Now, I will say this. Obviously, we don't know how time travel works in general. Like, we have, like, people have talked about it, and it's pretty consistent in fiction. But overall, I have how I feel like it should work, and I'm going to go with that. I'm not going to venture too far from that. It'd be interesting just to travel forward, and you'd be screwed. Like, what would you do? You would sit around and just, if you had beers, drink until the end of the world.
We're already doing that.
Yeah, that's basically what I do every day. So I'm going to give this a 4.5.
That's pretty good.
That's a fucking travesty.
Oh, and I also gave it that to irritate the fuck out of Suds.
Alright, well, I mean, this is a 5 for me. This is just...
Thank you, sir.
You know what? This is just it's a really good episode.
After
like,
we leave, Suds is going to go into his room and...
to the Slurmy checklist that we have. To our Slurmy spreadsheet, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. A spreadsheet? Is that not word itself?
Well, yeah. Like, the fact that we were able to have, like an hour-long discussion about the, physics of traveling through time, I think lends itself to just how, whether it perfectly adds up in this episode or not, fuck it. Whatever. It's a 20-minute cartoon. You're not going to learn M theory from this. But
You should learn all the things from a cartoon.
the jokes for me all land. The ending is great with, Fry and Leela. The one thing that I have that we did not talk about, and it's such a stupid bit, but it's one that always makes me laugh. It's the second time that they go through in the timeline where they kill Eleanor Roosevelt. You see all the previous iterations of the timeline that they've been through. We see the Joust universe and the robots that have enslaved humanity.
Oh, yeah, real quick.
And when we get to the Waterworld universe, it's such a quick shot, but it is just the merman, and he's just waving at them.
Yeah, I remember seeing that today, yeah. I don't know that I ever noticed that before, but yeah, that was funny.
It's such a stupid visual bit, but I love the idea that he actually...
Like, before the monster comes up, it just looks like a normal guy. Like, he's just like, real quick, hey.
But he can't have known about them from the previous timeline.
No, that's true. Yeah.
He is just waving at,
Just waving at nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
True. That is beautiful.
That is...
Yeah.
I don't know why. That is just endlessly funny to me. But yeah, this is such a great episode. Definitely one of the best that we've talked about this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Yeah, all right. Suds, go ahead.
Wait, I'll go next
I would
because I
prefer
think
if you
you
would-
ought
I
to finish
would-
it
I
out
would-
because
I
I
would
know you're
prefer-
very passionate about this
I would
episode.
prefer if you would go.
I'm going to go ahead and say that if this was an episode of almost any other show, be it like a Simpsons or whatever time travel episode, it would have been a 5. But I think I've seen how tight Futurama can be, and I'm thinking about like the brain switching episode where they wrote a theorem for the episode, and it was every tiniest detail is perfect. I have to hold it to a higher standard. And I have to say, because of those tiny little things, 4.5.
Yes!
All right.
See, this is a competition now. Thank you very much, Justin. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, I can respect
And
that
that-
reasoning.
and that's
Your
pr-
4.5 was bullshit.
And that's praise for the show
I'm drunk. Give me a break.
now,
when I say that. It's like speaking very highly of Futurama.
I always do.
yeah, hold it to a high standard. They have the most educated writing staff in the history of.
Yeah.
Which we thoroughly talked about on several fucking shows.
But there's also, thinking about that, given that there's also no way to make a time travel story really wrap up perfectly.
Yeah, no.
4.9.
Oh,
my final
he just
answer.
shut me down.
Oh shit! Oh.
I've
You know
reconsidered.
what?
I've seen the light.
You know what?
It's not perfect, but it's damn close.
I respect that.
I can't wait to have you back on the next
I'm
show.
happy. I'm happy
can't
with
wait.
that.
You know what? We need to find another good one so we can argue about theorems and such.
Well, is it my turn for Slimmies?
Yeah,
Guess
go,
what?
yeah.
There's never gonna be another good one that comes close to this episode because this is the best episode of all time. Fuck,
You're
dude.
wrong and you know it. The last episode is the best episode.
No. Actually,
Yeah,
maybe.
Shut your stupid fucking
Maybe.
face.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But here's what I have to say. God damn it. I love time travel. I love Fry and Leela, as everyone knows.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you've been vocal enough about that.
You should be more.
But there are so many good references in this episode, too. Planet of the Apes, The Time Machine. This is one of the best episodes of all time. I had a tear in my eye when he fucking sees
Did you say I'm not crying?
when he sees the note that she left, which we didn't even fucking talk about, the note that she leaves for him in
Yeah.
the stalagmites
Yes.
at Cavern on the Green.
Romantic.
Fuck, like that fucking hit me. Our time might have been short, but it was the best time of my life. Fuck, like that is so romantic and sweet.
Better than the vomit line?
Oh, they're pretty equal. They're both great. And then, God, all the time travel. I love watching the end of the universe. I like time travel and just like sci-fi so goddamn much. Like, I love the way, even though I don't actually fucking understand it, I love their interpretation of time travel. I love the fact that they watched the universe end 2 or 3 times together, and fucking Fry's line about just like having a beer and watching the universe end. Like, I feel like I would have said the same thing in Fry's place. Like,
Yeah.
if I were in that situation with like 2 fucking good friends, that's exactly the same thing that I would have said. I love this episode.
Who would they be?
So your rating is what, like a 3?
Push you on his face.
My 2 friends that I would want to have a 6-pack with at the end of the universe.
Yeah, who would be there?
It would be Swen.
You
And
better make this decision real good.
it'd be Swen.
We are recording. Make sure that you say the right thing.
And Justin.
All right. Your neighbor and your cat.
Yeah. I give this episode
You
a.
know what? We'll make our own end of the time. We'll have our own heat death of the universe.
I give this episode a 5.3. 5 Slurmies.
You can't do that.
I'm
I'm
doing
writing
it.
down.
Oh my god.
I'm doing it.
We can do
5.5
that.
out of 5.
The
You
point
know-
the point 5 has carried over from previous universe.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, yeah. Well, from previous episodes that he should have rated higher, we'll say that.
Here's the thing. I have given a 5.0 before. That's why this episode is better than those, so I have to go higher.
Alright.
5.5.
Yeah, I know. I wrote it down.
It's gonna be a first. That's
Okay.
what it's gonna be.
Okay, good.
I don't care. The system's so broken.
Yeah.
That's how we roll.
Yeah, next time I come out, I'm throwing 7s.
Oh, shit.
What just happened? Where are we?
9 thumbs up? I mean, what the hell is that?
Nobody has a function with this.
We've definitely gone off the rails in the later seasons of doing this podcast.
Yeah.
No, it's just a brief glimpse at all our ratings. They dropped for this season. Like
Up until
What
like the
season
last
is this?
2.
What number?
7?
7. Yeah.
Or something, yeah.
No, yeah, alright. The movies, we had some pretty...
I had a lot of issues with Bender's Game.
Yes, you are the...
I loved Bender's
one.
Game.
Well, you loved the Morks.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Oh, man.
We gave...
Chesba.
We gave Bender's big score all 5s.
Oh, yeah.
And then, oh wait, I was the highest rating on Beast with a Billion Backs. What the fuck?
Okay,
All
this
right,
is
yeah,
comedy
you want
poison.
to figure this out later?
Man.
Or...
Let's just read a bunch of numbers on the air.
You could have killed this minutes ago.
Does anybody else have any final thoughts?
No, someone get the newspaper and let's just read what the Dow did today.
I could get the obituaries if you want to hear something really sad.
Yeah, why the hell not?
Alright, no problem. As always, here are our plugs. You can follow me on Instagram at DeadWolfsHow.
Follow
Jowl.
me on Twitter at Gorilla Karate and now on Instagram at Occasional Nudity. Also,
I'm surprised that wasn't taken, to be honest. It's a great name.
Seriously. It is.
I'm more surprised I have not been kicked off of Instagram.
Well, your first post was you nude.
Covering his junk? Is that what it was?
If you want to see your favorite podcaster naked on an ice floe, follow me on Instagram. As well, if you're listening to this in February, I have 3 poems out right now in a publication called The Right Launch. Go to therightlaunch.com. That's right, like WRITE.
I was going to ask you about that, if you cared if I spread the word.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Oh, it's depressing.
Don't follow me anywhere. You're better off.
Okay, follow our guest Justin at Fennec Design on Instagram, and just Google Fennec Design because they're fucking awesome. But also,
I plugged that last time. I didn't have anything else.
You plug it again. You keep plugging it.
follow me at Mike Suds on Instagram, and yeah, that's it. Nobody cares. Nobody listens to my band, so who cares? I have 2 shows coming up, but I'm not gonna fucking.
Hey,
I'm not gonna talk about it.
Do it.
I'm not talking
Do
about
it.
None of our listeners care. The majority of our listeners are in Australia.
Inform people, god damn you!
No, I refuse.
No, plug your fucking band or I'm going to smack the shit out of you.
You're gonna have to smack the shit out of me.
February 24th
Correct.
at the Underground Bike Shop.
That's
Thanks,
right.
Lawrence and Libby, and more. That's the one I know
you.
about.
All right, thanks.
That was nice. That was a good. We're all helping each other out with.
Plug your fucking shit. Plug it.
That's it.
All right.
That's
good.
all I got.
Oh,
Thank you for listening.
This was a disaster.
Off you go, apparently.